Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while. It is the off season in drifting, and I suppose the end of January now. First of all, I want to wish us all a very happy new year. Hope all is very good. First half of January, messing around with a bit of a Toyota project. Car bought cheap, just trying to do it up, get it tested. I'll show you that later on in the video. Just trying to get that ready for test. And I have my other Toyota for test. So basically, there's not much drift related stuff happening, but today I have a bit of free time and the M3 is out of the shed. Abby's car and the 320D have been lying since before the bash, or since after the bash. I have the events outside with the jumper cables on it, trying to get Abby's car started, and the 320D is dead as well. So I have two cars that are not starting. So in terms of this year, what's happening, I really don't know. I have a very busy year. I'm already planning old school, new school this year. I think the date is the 16th of July is old school, new school, coming back to St. Mel's College for the 6th year in a row. So that's going really well, and I'm putting a lot of time into that. Basically, why I haven't been on in January is I'm just trying to get in early and get everything planned for old school, new school. But yeah, let's cut to the chase and see, can we get these two cars starting and see what the hell is going on. So that is a little bit of a project I've been rooting at. Probably will sell it once I get an NCT on it. It will be going cheap, so if anyone's looking for an absolute minter of a runaround, do let me know. But yeah, you'll see that later on, what I've been doing with that car. Abby's car, as it says, has been lying outside, and what I noticed on Abby's car, this intake boot, it's got a big hole in it. So I did get a boot, but I got the wrong one. I got this one, so I have a spare one of these. If anybody's ever looking for one, I have a spare one of them, but I need to get this one. And that hole there, I don't think, Abby's car was very down in power at the last bash. I don't know what's this causing it, but surely doesn't help that there's a massive hole in there. So I definitely do need to get one of them pipes now, and I want to keep this pipe fixed up because it is just dangling. So I want to get that sorted on Abby's car. And the old reliable, this thing is dead as well. Not an absolute gig out of it. I put the multimeter on it and it's only like 1 volt, but this is a great little car, and I'm hoping this year that I'm going to start driving this a lot more. The KD Customs Winter Bash is happening now. The first round is done. I would have loved to have these two cars over there, but in terms of costs in getting them two cars over there and all that sort of stuff, it was just out of the question so early in January. But I would really love to be doing the KD Customs Winter Bash in that car. KD Customs Winter Bash is not, or the Winter Championship is, it's not done yet. So I don't know. This is a really good car, and to be honest, I think in the KD Customs Winter Championship it would be a great little car to have. But we'll see. First of all, we need to get the two of these starting. I have the Toyota, the old reliable, jumping away at this, but I don't know if it's going to do the trick. Hey, worked. Good job. So Abby's car is back up and running. So yeah, all I needed was a bit of a jump start, as I says. It did take a couple of goes to do that, and usually with the BMWs, if they're under a certain voltage in the battery, they won't start, but once the charge got into it from the old reliable, away it went. So that's a very good job. Got this one running. It's time to see, can we get the 320D running. I'm just going to take the leads off this. Let's transfer them over to this old girl. We really have been very lazy with this car. Basically, from the bash, with the damage picked up. Old bits of cable ties, wheels thrown everywhere. We do need to give this thing a little bit of love. And I do have some new taillights to go in there, but I don't know. I really need to talk to SD Aero. SD Aero like does all our aero for all our drift cars. And I'm gonna try and see can we do something with SD Aero with taillights for E46s, especially for the saloons. I think I counted last year I went through 10 taillights, and if you look at buying them new, I think they're like 60, 70, 80 euros a taillight. So if I done 10 taillights, 800 euros worth of taillights I went through last year alone. That's just on taillights. So we really need to talk to SD Aero and see is he able to make up something for us, like put in like a taillight blank and just put a sticker over to make it look like a taillight. Yeah, 800 euros in taillights in 1 year. No. So I'm going to talk to Gary at SD Aero, see can we do something on that, because I think it really would work and save a lot of money. I think the 320D is going to need a good bit of charge here. I don't know, with the 320D, I think we found this before, it takes a good bit of soup to get it going, so I think I'm going to leave this for a little while and let this thing charge up. I really don't even know what's in the back of this. There's even some tyres there for the M3 as well. So we still have loads of tyres. Huge thanks to Kelvin Tyres, an unbelievable sponsor of ours last year. Between myself and Abby, Kelvin Tyres, any drift tyres you need with unbelievable prices. So if you look up Kelvin Tyres and Service Centre on Facebook or Instagram, their deals on drift tyres are unbelievable. Anything from 215 45s, what Abby's running, to 265 35 18s, what I'm running on the M3. So anything drift related tyres, do contact Kelvin Tyres. But I do need to contact Kelvin Tyres myself, because at the bash we were running 215 45s on Abby's car. Abby's car is a 2.5, but the 215 45 tyre, I think it's a little bit too extreme on the back of Abby's car. We have a big heavy flywheel on the back of Abby's engine. If we had a lightened flywheel on it and a better diff ratio, I'd say yes to the 215s. But just with the setup in Abby's car, I think we're going to have to go a smaller tyre. We may drop down to 16s and then talk to Kelvin Tyres to see what sort of tyre we'd run. But on these M52 engines, what flywheels do everybody run? I know I done the E30 flywheel conversion. We done it on Keelan's engine, and I done it on my M50 as well. But yeah, what's the recommendations on light and flywheels and diff ratios for small case diff on a 2.5? Let me know. It'd be great to have all that right for Abby, and it just make her learning experience a lot easier, because I drove Abby's car to bash, and you really do have to drive that car to get it going, and Abby's not ready for that yet, so we need to make it a little bit easier for Abby. So yeah, do let me know in the comments about flywheel setups and diff for 2.5. What do you think is the best, what would you say, best recipe? But yeah, that's what we need to do in Abby's car, because I know after the bash, Abby's first weekend ever at a bash, ever in Mondello, ever drifting, it was a massive weekend for her. But the handbrake and the clutch was getting a little bit confusing for her, so I think she had been pulling the handbrake while the clutch was up, so I think the clutch has worn down a lot. So I think if I'm in that far to check the clutch, I might as well just whip out that old flywheel and put a whole new setup in it. But as it says, do let me know in the comments. So leave this 320D another little bit, see what you start. Back in the old 320D. So if you didn't see the video from the bash the last time, Keith and Keelan had the best crack in this car, but it was cutting out and going into limp mode, and we believe it's down to a boost pressure sensor on the manifold. So that's the reason why we try and get this thing going again. Right, we've got some lights, we better turn off some stuff to give her every chance to start. First start in how many months? 3 months? Haha. Yeah, I didn't give it long enough. But yeah, right, I'm gonna have to leave the events on this for a while and let her get some power back into the system, and then we look about the boost pressure sensor on it, and hopefully if we get that boost pressure sensor working, this car will be 100% and ready for action again. I just want to find out what anyway, so car still does rings, seems to be running pretty okay. I felt a little breakdown in the engine. I did have the cover for the coils left off because we were working on it at the bash, so maybe some water has got in there. Just felt a little bit of a breakdown in it. This car has a couple of vents done and we haven't changed plugs or anything in it, but hey, it still flies around. So yeah, just says I'd test that out while I was waiting for the 320D to start in my backyard. But my backyard's really tight, and I was very sensitive where the phone was sitting. I was close a couple of times, but I didn't hit it. So yeah, I'm just going to check the coils in this and see if any of them are gone or failed. We had it a couple of times with these M52s. I don't know, is it when you leave them lying up for a while and go at them again, the coils break down and go? I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to check these coils now. So I'm just checking through all these, and you can hear the note in the engine when you plug them out, just checking them. And you go back to normal, so I'll check these 3. Check this one. Yeah, that one's okay. This one here, you can see where the rust and the water getting down on them. Yeah, that one's okay. And this lad here. Yeah, see water in that now, so that could be a very good reason as to why that was breaking down. So I'm going to blow out that plug, clean that up. But that definitely could have been causing that breakdown while I was doing some rings, lad. Put that cover back on, and that should keep all the coils and all the water out of the coils and stuff, because water really does get down in there. But that should keep that all good. Yeah, probably know from watching Abby's build, we really do need to get back to all this wire and get all this stuff sorted out. Robert done a great job of everything inside the car in terms of wiring, but we do still have to put in the correct kill switch, because it doesn't kill the car when we turn that off. Need to do that and a couple of other bits, but yeah, they are things to be done over 2023, along with getting Abby back out again. So I think she is talking about a day in Goldstone, so I think get her down to Goldstone for a private day and just leave her in Goldstone to get used to the car down there. That is in talks, and maybe a bash come the end of the year, but a little bit more practice to be done before going back to a bash, because it's just too much pressure for Abby with everybody watching. Even though nobody cares, but still, it's just a thing that we need to sort out. Get her to Goldstone for a couple of days, get the confidence up, and then come back and shock everybody then. So yeah, I think that's pretty much. We've got Abby's car running. I've actually forgotten about the 320D, so we need to go out and see, will that thing start. Great bus. Now, see, have you done the job for the 320D? I can hear a bit of a pull on the events there, so let's see. No. Battery is completely flat. No. Okay, so I think the best thing to do is give the Aventus a break and just hop this battery out, throw it on charge. Hopefully it charges. So that was a new battery, but it's been ran so flat now that, yeah. Okay, I'll just whip the battery out, put it on charge. We're not going anywhere in a hurry with it, but yeah, get that battery charged up. Hopefully it has survived the winter, and yeah, look at the 320D. She needs a bit of a wash and a bit of a tidy up, but let's flip out this battery. Battery in charge. Hopefully we have saved it. Just I don't know who left them marks there. Okay, back to the good old M3. Something I really need to do with this. The diff really needs to be rebuilt in it. It's just over the year of all the abuse and stuff. Backlash is kind of all over the place on it. So, yeah, I definitely really need to do something with the diff. Anybody good with M3, S54, E46 M3 diffs, let me know, because I would like to get this diff rebuilt, and if I had a different ratio, maybe put into it, or find a different ratio diff. I think it is a 3.2 that's in this, or 3.6, I'm not sure. I think it's a 3.6 because it's just caught between the top of second and third. So a 3.9 diff maybe, or go back down to a 2.9 diff. We'll just leave it first and second all the way. But yeah, the back of the car, definitely everything up front is done, is 100%, and you probably would have seen, if you're following a long time, we did do bushings and rebuilt the back of it, but the diff, there was always play in that diff, and I knew it from the start. So I really do need to get the diff sorted. But apart from that, this M3 is some car. On the button every time. I don't know if you'll hear it now with the noise, but you'll hear a lot of noise coming from the back of the car. I don't know if you're going to hear it. Back of the shed. When I had the back end out, I put 75-90 oil into the diff. Now I was looking up for them LSDs, the M3, should there be an additive to go into that oil? I'm just thinking, ever since I put the 75-90 in it, it just seemed a little bit rougher. I hope I haven't ruined my diff, but is 75-90 the right oil to put into an LSD, or would you recommend something else? And as I read, is there an additive to go into it? Do let me know in the comments as well. But yeah, it's back in the shed. Hopefully on another episode. Shed is kind of busy with cars in and out at the minute, so it's hard really to stay at the M3 when you have so much stuff in and out. But we will get to it in a future episode and find out what the hell is going on inside that diff. But apart from that, an unbelievable car, and thanks to all the sponsors last year for keeping it going as well. SD Aero surely had his work cut out last year, and I might see will SD Aero just fix that bumper for me instead of making a new one. It just needs a little bit of a touch up, but yeah, it is a great going car. I don't think I will not be committing to a full championship this year, but knowing me, I just take it into my head, I might do one round or maybe 2 rounds. We'll see. But just this year, we've got a lot of friends' weddings and stag nights and a whole lot of crazy stuff. Plus, my shed as well is number one priority this year. So I really need to get that shed done. So yeah, a lot going on this year, so I will not fully commit to a full championship this year. One event I will commit to 100% is Tullyrowan. All-time favourite of mine, so I will definitely be committing to Tullyrowan. Kevin Quinn runs one mega show up there in Tullyrowan, so I'll definitely commit to Tullyrowan this year. But the Irish Drift Championship, I may do one round, but I won't commit to the whole lot of it. We committed it last year. I think we finished up 17th in the championship out of 50 drivers, 40-something drivers. So 17th in the championship was okay. It wasn't too bad. It could have been a lot better. But yeah, travelling up and down to Cork for 3 rounds, it was a big expense. So as I says, I won't commit to the full championship, but I will commit to Tullyrowan 100%. And then when we get the battery charged up and get the 320D up and running again, definitely try and do as much days in the 320D because it brings smiles all around. And in a future episode, we will look at the 320D, see what that problem is, why it's going into limp mode. Is it the boost pressure sensor? We need to figure that out. If we got that ironed out in that car, it would be the 100% just seat time car. So we have the 320D to look at, we have Abby's car to look at, and the M3 to look at. But in terms of championship this year, I think we're going to bring it back a little bit and just do fun days, get Abby up and running, and as I says, do Tullyrowan on that. But yeah, right, I'm going to leave it at that. Short little update, because I know you haven't heard from me all January. You're wondering, what the hell is Niallgoesdrifting at? So, not very much, but we'll start moving on now and start planning. Also, just before I go, I want to say huge thanks to everybody who bought the Niallgoesdrifting merchandise last year. It was a huge support to the channel and a huge support to me doing all this stuff with the M3 and Abby's car and that. Do you want me to get more Niallgoesdrifting merchandise? Do drop a comment below and let me know. I really do. I'm probably going to do a new design this year. I'm not going to say what just yet, but if you are looking for more Niallgoesdrifting merchandise, do comment below, let me know, and then we'll get into design then and try and do something a little bit different and a little bit cooler with the merchandise for this year. So that's it for this episode. It feels good to be back, actually, because you're so long without YouTube. It's sort of hard to get back into just it. But now that I have it done, I've broken the ice and we're ready to go again. So I hope you enjoyed the little bit of an update and the little bit of random getting cars going and that. And we will see you guys on the next one.